3rd, 2025 meeting to order at this time. I ask that everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll start with one item, and that is a notification that the board did hold an executive session prior to tonight's public meeting to discuss personnel and legal issues. And a reminder, as always, tonight's meeting is being streamed live and recorded on the district's YouTube channel. But we'll start with our first item on the agenda, which is a facility project update from Draw Collective and PJ Dick.
Okay, thank you. Give an update on the intermediate school progress. So I'll just stay on this guy so we reference the areas of the building. So overall, things are right where we thought they'd be based on the contractor's baseline schedule that was developed many, many months ago when the project began. So as of today, we sit really on schedule where we thought we'd be. Area A, which is the orange number 3, phase 3, the 3-story addition. The MEP rough-in is basically complete. Drywall is complete in the space. They started the drywall finishing. We hope to bring the painter on site next week to start painting those 3 rooms. The windows are one item that's lagging, but they're still slated to be here towards the end of November. But they do have plastic and it's weather tight, so we could continue with the finishes in those spaces. Area C, which is the green, phase 1, it's in a similar state. It's enclosed. Drywall is, call it 99%. The drywall finishing is ongoing, and all the sound frames are now to the site and installed. And similar to phase 3, area A, hope to have the painter on site here within the next week or 2. Casework, finishes, ceilings, all that work will occur from now through the middle of December, when those 2 areas need to be turned over to the owner for use for next semester. Area D, the big yellow area, phase 2, still getting out of the ground with the foundations. All the large, tall foundation walls are poured. They continue with kind of the southwest corner of the foundations. The plumber is in the space doing the plumbing underground on the north section of the space, and then the site excavator contractor, there's an under drainage system under the slab. They're going to follow with that work here in the next week. The goal for the steel erection start date was the middle of November, so we're trending in that direction. The steel sub and the erector are ready to go. They're actually joist and deck on site already, so we just got to get that prepared for them to hit the site in the next few weeks. Some other work in area D, one of the change orders that's on the agenda, the southwest corner with the rain garden BMP work that they ran into. They started to remove the old system so we could complete the foundations in that corner. So that's kind of an overview of where the work stands. I have a few pictures. I don't have any drone photos this time. I will try to get those from Ari Glancy for the next meeting. Area C, again, this was a few weeks ago where the drywall was ongoing and some duct rough-in was occurring. Just another shot of the ductwork on the left and the drywall. So that has changed quite a bit, really. These photos are probably 2.5 weeks old. Here's a shot of area D. So the one foundation wall was poured. At this time on the left, they were forming the other foundation wall. That now has been poured and those forms have been stripped. So it's changed here even in the last couple of weeks. The plumbing underground, you can kind of see some of the white piping sticking out of the ground. So that even commenced a few weeks ago. It is kind of a tight little site, so they were doing their best to get some work in place, but it has opened up now since this photo was taken. Area A, the three-story classroom addition, similar state, some ductwork going up in each space and all the drywall and the frames installed that goes out to the hallway. Just another picture. That far corner where you see the blue and the drywall, that's where the unit ventilators sit for each classroom that gives you cooling and heating. Those are on site and installed and being piped in and connected to the ductwork as well. So these, again, these pictures were 2 weeks ago. I think those UVs hit the site about a week and a half ago. And that's all the pictures I have. So that's sort of the progress of the project to date. The financial section, there are 2 change orders, I think, on the agenda, maybe under 1 change order number. So change order 4 for R.A. Glancy and your agenda consists of, we added a gate at the basketball courts on the playground for future access when you would need to get into that space. It was a level 1 change order. So those gates have been ordered. They're not installed yet, but they're on their way. The second item in the change order is a level 2 change order, what I mentioned. So in the corner of that area D addition, the BMP rain garden that was installed when the building was first built protruded kind of into the footprint of the foundation, kind of an unforeseen condition. So those units that were in the ground had to be removed to continue on with the foundations for the building. So that's what that item is on the change order 4 for R.A. Glancy.
Can I interrupt you a second there?
Sure.
I don't know that I have that in front of me. What's the amount of that change order?
That particular item is $14,969.
And what is that for again?
So they had to excavate the old rain garden. In that rain garden, there's a system that collects and stores the water. So they had to dig those tubes out, I guess, and then buy end caps for the systems that remained in place for the volume of water that is necessary, and then connect them back together.
Were those rain guards not on the drawings, the prior drawings from when the middle school, intermediate school was completed?
They were. The system that was anticipated to be in the ground, I think, changed when the original building was built. So I think the system that got put in place, I think, expanded on a footprint scale that the design team wasn't anticipating.
I understand, but whenever that happens, aren't the drawings changed to reflect that? The final drawings for the building?
They should be, but I don't know if those ever got to the design team. That had to be looked into. Wasn't on the as-built.
It wasn't on the as-built. Who was the contractor? Do you remember who the general was last time? Do you know? It would be the general's responsibility to put those final as-built drawings together, correct? So who is, I'd like to know who the prior contractor was who didn't do that, or apparently didn't do it, if you're saying they weren't on the as-built.
I don't recall who did that.
Okay.
20 years ago.
Can somebody find that out for me, please?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Alan will remember. I'll call Joe Brennan and ask him. I want to say maybe it was Massera. I'll look into it and get back to you on that. So those are the 2 items on the change, and that's really all I have, unless there's any questions from any of the school board members and administration.
Thank you, Jason.
Okay, thank you. turn it over to Dan.
Good evening. I get to skip over a few things. So just to update a number of things going on as a part of the bus depot project and the K2 project, a traffic study was done. And I think we've talked about this a few times before. I'm gonna skip to the map. And some recommendations out of the traffic study were made. There was a short-term recommendation to switch the busing and the parent traffic within the site to better make an immediate impact and along Old Oakdale. And Dr. Miller said that's been tested this week. Did you want to make a comment?
Yes, absolutely. So each day, so we started on the 28th, which was Tuesday. I was able to watch all of the traffic pattern from our heaviest traffic flow at 7:40 a.m. through 8 o'clock. It was a little rough on that first day, and we expected that. But by Friday, and each day was getting better and better, there was no backup. There was a little bit, a few cars waiting to turn in, but I wouldn't say that they were stopped for more than a few seconds in terms of moving into the campus and making their way around. So as of right now, I know that we're not in the snow, which often draws a lot more families, but I was sitting in the rain on Friday watching everything, and that's another draw for additional traffic. And it was flowing well. I believe from all of the reports, it continues to get better. If we do see a backup with our buses, which is, I think, where our biggest concern is, that we will adjust a few times by a minute or two. But before we make any changes, we want to see what that pattern looks like over an extended period of time.
So that is a temporary solution to the problem, the way the existing circulation works with the campus now and its facilities. There was a concept put together by the traffic engineer that basically included once the new K2 building is built, how could the site be modified? How could the traffic pattern potentially be modified to, again, make another improvement if that's possible? And they offered a suggestion that actually runs an option through in front of what would it be a closed school and round through towards the middle school. And to make that happen, a revised entranceway realignment would have to be done on campus to be able to make that road along the frontage of the middle school make that connection onto the existing K2 building. I say it's nothing to really talk about at this point because we're so far from this point. We're years from being able to do something like this. And so there'll be much more, I think, review and discussion about long-term improvements on the campus and whatever scope might be. But if you had any questions, I'll try to answer them.
I had a question on that. This traffic study, I thought it was to give recommendations for what the traffic flow would be when the new K2 is in place. Is that true? Okay.
Yes.
So if you're saying that the changes we made now are temporary, is this the recommended for the when the K2 is there, or will the temporary that we have in place at least suffice for when the K2 is in place?
I think the answer to that is yes. One of the things that is identified as a part of the study, and I'm just speaking in generalities because I'm not, they have all these traffic counts, and when you listen to them talk, it's very complicated. But the point that I think they were making is that we're taking the K2 traffic away from the middle school side of the campus and moving it to the southern portion of the campus. And so now it's less of a factor with the backup. So our real problem is really ultimately the middle school at this point, when we get to the point of the K2 being in operation. And so how we we have multiple options as to how you circulate through, depending upon what you do with the existing K2 building. And so what they tried to do is, I asked them not to envision a new campus solution for the K2, just use the existing roadways that we have and see if you can give us an improvement. You know, it should be fine, according to their numbers. So you still have options. You could keep it the same way that it is, that Dr. Miller was just describing on the previous slide, or make an adjustment. So you'll have some choices.
Okay, I think I was mainly getting hung up on the terminology because we have a temporary solution and then we have an alternative.
Yeah.
So I didn't know.
For me, everything's temporary until the old K2 building that portion of the site is modified, right?
Well,
So we're going to go through some phases of change, probably, is what I'm going to guess.
okay, well, we haven't discussed what we're doing with the existing K2. So my biggest concern is a traffic study that gives us a solution for when the new K2 is built and operational. And I think what you're saying is the temporary solution that we have in place will work. We also have another alternative that may be something we can look at, but I just want to be clear. We can
Yes.
keep it the way it is now after the test when the new K2 is in place.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, I think they like this option for when the new K2 goes online, but you still have the choice, and so I think it's going to
okay,
be
thank you.
testing. Over at the intermediate, I'm going to skip this construction phase because we've talked about it. The pool project is just about done. We had a couple snafus at the very end. The engineer did not include installation of the refrigerant line on the roof that goes from the condenser to the unit. And so that is a change that's before you tonight. And I believe there's another one that's related to internal controls in ductwork. There's a sensor that needs to be installed that was not included in the contract. They omitted both of those things. Yeah. All of our sites. Well, that's what I say, but the contractors everything's contractual. They bid the project, and if they don't see it in the documents, then they don't provide a price for it. So you didn't pay for it yet. And so it needs to be added to the project to get it accomplished. And so.
But they bid a functional HVAC system.
Yeah, it's just not a GMP kind of situation. It's exactly what is in the specifications or what's on the drawings. And if unfortunately the engineer left it off, and I can't argue. We of course negotiated the price to try to make sure that it was accurate and fair. But the work has to be added to get it done right. Lucky it's not that much money in the scheme of things. You're going to finish the project less than 1% change orders probably. So two things. Any other questions about this one? We're going to be fully functional, I think, within a week after all of this is done. The bus depot project, lots of things have been going on. We have been out for bid, and we received bids this week. So we're crossing our fingers that we get good numbers. We have quite a big list of bidders. So we have some good activity. So hopefully the numbers will come in good. Our biggest challenge on this site is, of course, we have all of the grading. It's a very complicated grading project. Lots of earth moving. The building is very small in the scheme of things, but there's a lot of earth moving and paving. So we'll see how those comes in.
Dan, were those bid out separately or was it all bid out as one project?
The bus depot is all one big project. It is got separation of crimes, just like all of the
Right.
projects. So we'll have a GC, a general contractor, a heating contractor, electrical and plumbing.
The excavator's part of the GC's contract, right?
That's correct.
And when's the bid opening?
Thursday morning at 11, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. So we'll be reporting quickly. Over at the K2, design development is complete. We're into early stages of working drawings, headed for trying to be complete by the end of January. We've had lots of meetings. This is the sidewalk. We've talked about the sidewalks before, but not ever. I think maybe this map hasn't been shown at this forum. As a part of the project approval with the municipality, there's a zoning requirement to add sidewalks on the perimeter edge of the district's property for the community. And essentially, the municipality agreed to have install sidewalks where there are no sidewalks currently and allow us to connect to the internal sidewalks that are on campus now to minimize the amount of sidewalk pavement that we actually have to do. And also, since we already have walkers and folks on the internal areas of the campus where we want to be able to utilize those things. Just site plan of the new school and all the things that are being affected. There's nothing new to report. It's still the same. This has all been sent to DEP and is in its final stage of approvals. At our last meeting, we talked about adding some additional geotechnical borings to confirm some of the things that we found in the first round of borings to get a little bit more detail. As with all of our grading challenges on the site, it doesn't really matter which location you're at. We have challenging variety of underground geology, and it's different from one place to the other. Its depths are different, and so the additional borings that we requested will help us refine the areas where we had either missing information or we wanted to clear up the difference between two borings that were maybe spread apart. So hopefully this will, the results of this will help us finalize the foundation system of the building and what needs to be done. Floor plans have not changed. Just trying to get complete. Some additional imagery each month. We produce a few more images about the building. This is a shot of the cafeteria. This is a typical hallway, a non-classroom hallway. This is mostly to talk about finishes and illustrate that it's very similar to what you have at the intermediate school. We stayed consistent with the products, and in general, the design is similar. The gymnasium is a storm shelter itself, which is something different than any of the other gymnasiums. It's a part of a new code requirement. So it has a concrete roof structure in the gym and reinforced walls. So if there is a very bad storm or tornado or something, this is a place of shelter for everyone. And the design, there's a small amount of bleachers, a typical gym floor, and some school spirit painting on the walls there. This is the large group instruction room. They have flexible seating in this room, so it can be used for a variety of things. The seats either pull out or they retract back to the wall. It is sort of a hybrid auditorium. The seats are like an auditorium seat. They fold up as the bleacher system folds back to the wall. There's a quick view. This is a little preliminary. We're still messing around with the design of the proscenium opening. We did some things like we straightened out the panels, the sound panels, instead of curved to be straight to save a little bit of money, modifying a few things here and there. But we're coming along. It's actually a pretty nice little space. It has some nice sunlight. And then this is a shot. As you walk in the room, If the room was to be used in this particular case, I think Tim and the designers did like a science fair. Book fairs, science fairs, also, we've seen these spaces at other schools is used for so many different things. It's nice to have the flexibility of the flat floor. The end. That was it for tonight. Does anybody have any questions?
So I did find that it was Macero, who was the GC, in 2011, for the intermediate school. And I believe in one of our workshops, I shared with you the traffic study. I thought I did, but I just emailed it to the board as well so that you have a copy of that electronically, as well.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, we will now move to item number 1, consent agenda. We have 3 items for approval this evening. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 3? Moved by Rebecca. Second by Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We will now suspend business to hear from residents and/or taxpayers. The board will hear comments from residents and/or taxpayers related to items appearing on agenda for action by the board. The board will receive comments from residents and/or taxpayers on topics that do not appear on the agenda for action by the board at the conclusion of the agenda prior to adjournment. The time limit for comments shall not exceed 3 minutes. The board will not respond to questions during this session, but will only hear comments. At this time, are there any public comments? Anything online?
Nothing online.
Thank you very much. Nothing under old business nor new business. So we will move to Dr. Miller's Superintendent's Monthly Report.
Thank you so much. I wanted to highlight, and at your place settings, you do have a handout. This was the agenda for our Future Focused Learning Summit. So we successfully hosted our 2nd annual Future Focus Summit on October 13th. This signature day-long event was designed to advance the district's strategic vision of being future-focused, student-centered, and innovation-driven. The summit convened educational leaders, industry partners, higher education institutions, technology innovators, and regional workforce organizations to explore emerging trends in education and the future of learning, work, and student success. This year's summit was organized by Dr. Matt Collison and Mrs. Christine Wagner-Deach, and the summit focused on preparing students for a rapidly changing world through personalized learning pathways, artificial intelligence integration, workforce aligned career exploration, and equitable access to future-ready opportunities. Attendees participated in keynote sessions, student-led showcases, and collaborative roundtables highlighting South Fayette's innovative practices and partnerships in areas such as AI literacy, cybersecurity, STEAM education, entrepreneurship, and inclusive innovation frameworks. Specifically, our administrators and educators hosted several sessions. South Fayette presenters included Stacy Barth, Christy Frolinger, Chuck Herring, Rick Yeager, Kara Pappas, Kelly Oliver, and our own Pranita Shakangal, who is here with us today, also shared the amazing work that she is doing on the creation of a mental health app for peers. A central feature of the summit was showcasing South Fayette students as active creators and solution designers, demonstrating the district's commitment to authentic real-world learning experiences. National and regional partners praised our district as a leading district shaping the future of K-12 public ed. Not only did we have over 200 school leaders and educators in the region in attendance, but this summit allowed for our teachers also to participate in their professional development day. And this experience reinforced the district's commitment to ensuring that every South Fayette student graduates not only prepared for the future, but equipped to lead it. And so we're very proud. I put together the schedule that everybody got to choose from, but it was an amazing day, and we're looking forward to our 3rd annual summit next year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Miller, for the update. I will now move to our student representatives monthly report from Pranita Shakangal.
Thank you. Okay, so the October report. October began with several staff development and Act 80 days across the district. Students had no school on October 13th and 20th, and the month closed with a 2-hour late start on October 27th. district-wide all buildings prepared for the 2025 Penny Challenge, running November 1st through November 8th. Proceeds will support students in the life skills and autistic support programs, encouraging inclusion and community service. At the elementary school, students participated in the annual pumpkin contest and raffle, raising funds for the holiday gift drive to help families in need. The PTA shared updates on classroom reps and upcoming events, while families were reminded to order yearbooks by October 31st for discounted pricing. Registration opened for the Science and Innovation Fair for elementary and intermediate schools, which will be on November 20th, and the ES Lines of Steel running program beginning in January. The intermediate school held fall activities throughout October, including its pumpkin raffle supporting the district holiday gift drive. Fifth graders attended field trips and students enjoyed Fun Fest on October 14th. The building is preparing for the Fall Festival Parade with the elementary school on October 31st and issued updated pickup and parking procedures to ensure safety. The middle school had a very busy month of learning and engagement. The Parent Advisory Council meeting took place virtually on October 15th. Picture Retake Day followed that week. Students attending the Halloween dance on October 18th featured costumes, contests, and games. Clubs such as Lionhearts organized an animal supply drive for the Washington Area Humane Society, and applications opened for unified robotics. At the high school, October focused on both academic and community involvement. Underclassmen took school picture makeups on October 9th, while grades 10th and 11th completed PSAT testing on October 28th. Seniors finalized cap and gown orders through Justin's as graduating planning continued. The counseling department shared resources for college and career readiness, and the building promoted the upcoming retro recess event on November 10th for families district-wide. In athletics, South Fayette teams closed the fall season with strong performances. Girls varsity soccer advanced to the WIPIO Class 3A finals after defeating Moon 4-1 in the semifinals. Girls cross country placed third at WIPIO champions, earning a PIAA state medal berth led by WIPIO individual champion Angela Tseng. Boys golf finished fourth in the state at the PIAA team championship at Penn State. Middle school and JV hockey and football teams, along with the girls' 7th and 8th grade basketball programs, continued strong fall records, reflecting district-wide participation and sportsmanship. The month concluded with fall festival parties and parades on October 31st across the elementary and intermediate schools, followed by an early dismissal throughout the district. November will begin with a 2-hour delay on November 3rd and the launch of the Pennies Challenge, as all 4 schools come together to support inclusive and education and community service. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pranita, for the student update. We'll now move to the business office, item number 2. We approved several items at the October 21st meeting, and we have one item on the agenda for approval this evening. Is there a motion to approve item number 1 under the business office?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Tom, second by Len. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll now move to item 3, personnel, where we have one carryover item from October 21st and several new items to be read in this evening. Dr. Miller, if you would be so kind to read in the new items for action this evening.
Absolutely. Under item 1, we have resignations from a bus aide, Amelia Wather, building substitute, Clara Kushner, and IT manager, Leanne Jubis. Under item 2, the following EPR would be asking for approval for elementary school Kids of Steel coach. Those include Jonathan Barsotti, Jacqueline Dopp, Emily Bigley, Jamie Violi, and Danny Rudolph. Item 3 is a recommendation to hire Mark Snyder as head baseball coach for the 25-26 season. Item 4 is a recommendation for approval to hire Brianna Snyder as a middle school math science permanent substitute teacher. And item 5 is a recommendation to approve Duquesne University student Devin Libro for a 30-hour field experience at the high school.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. So we will go back to item number 1. That was a carryover from the October 21st meeting, and that was approval for a list of EPRs.
I would ask that the board table the middle school dance and high school dance team sponsors this evening. And I would ask for their consideration for the remaining EPRs. I think those would need to be two separate motions.
So we will separate those out. So is there a motion to table the middle school dance team and the high school dance team EPRs?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Len, second by Tom. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is tabled. And then we will take the rest of item 1 together here. So with the remaining EPRs, is there a motion to approve the carryover EPRs from the October 21st meeting? Moved by Rebecca. Second by Teresa. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we will move to the new motions from that were just read in by Dr. Miller, motions 1 through 5 on the agenda. Is there a motion to approve new items 1 through 5? Moved
Second.
by Esther, second by Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So our newest varsity baseball coach is in attendance with us this evening, Coach Mark Schneider. Would you be willing to step to the podium and share your thoughts? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I've been a resident of South Fayette now going into my 22nd year. And I have no intention of ever leaving. There's no other coaching job that I would have ever even considered on the high school level. And I'm just thankful and appreciative. And I promise you a commitment that you've never seen before to make South Fayette baseball an incredible program that you guys could be proud of and the community be proud of. And one thing that I never said in any of my interviews that I will say now, beyond winning a lot of baseball games, I want South Fayette baseball, high school baseball to be a community event. I want us to create an atmosphere where when students leave school, they head on down the hill behind the school and give them a reason to come watch South Fayette high school baseball. We get a lot of fans of football games, a lot of fans of soccer games and lacrosse games. And I feel that South Fayette baseball, the only people that come to these games are usually parents. And I want to change that. I want it to become an event that everybody wants to attend. And I want to thank you for the opportunity to lead this group. And I'm really proud and humbled and honored to be a part of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I just say something, Mark? I appreciate and thank you for the MC work you did at the Hall of Fame induction and also for the work you do announcing the football games every week here. So thanks for that.
You're welcome. I'm proud to do everything I can for this community.
And Mark, if he's true to his word and making this a community event, you got to start looking for buying more bleachers, right?
Absolutely. Sound system, bleachers, I got plans. Thank you.
All right, we'll now move to the 5 items under education for approval this evening. Is there a motion to approve education items 1 through 5? Moved by Teresa.
Second.
Seconded by Projecta. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Nothing under transportation this evening. We have one item under athletics, and it is not for new bleachers yet. But it is a motion that is a carryover from last week to approve the varsity wrestling team traveling to Erie, Pennsylvania. Is there a motion to approve athletics item number 1? Moved by Esther. Second by Teresa. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5 items under construction this evening. Is there a motion to approve the change orders as listed 1 through 5?
So moved.
Moved by Tom. Second by Esther. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 2 items under miscellaneous that will be on the agenda at our next meeting for approval. Just a second reading of the revised policy 903, public participation in board meetings, and the second reading of policy 805.3, school security personnel use of force. And this time we will suspend business to hear from residents and or taxpayers. The board will hear comments from residents and or taxpayers. The time limit of comments will not exceed 3 minutes. The board will not respond to questions during this session, but will only hear public comments. Anything online?
No.
Thank you very much. We'll now move to our solicitor's report.
No report for me tonight.
Thank you. And I think that's just a duplication of a previous change order on the agenda, but there's no report from the executive committee report. South Fayette Foundation, anything, Rebecca?
I know there's a meeting next week, so I should have something next month.
Thank you. PSBA and the legislative committee report, Projecta.
Yeah, I didn't come prepared for this, so I'm going to read it out. There is a request to adopt resolution to end state budget impasse. And I think once the board approves it, the school has to submit it to PSBA. So I'm going to share this with everyone. And then, the request is to look at this draft and approve it. And then for Dr. Miller to take it forward. Thank you.
Tom or Esther, any update from Parkway West?
Just a quick administrative note, the November meeting, which was originally scheduled for November 4th for Parkway, has been moved to November 7th, primarily due to the conflict with Election Day.
Thank you for the update. And Shasta, Jen, do you have anything?
I don't have anything. Do you?
I just have the one item that there's an evening school board workshop. If anybody's interested, please let Dr. Miller know. That will be held at Upper St. Clair High School on Thursday, November 13th. Again, please share your interest with Dr. Miller as soon as possible if you are interested in attending that school board evening workshop. There's no reason to suspend into executive session. Is there a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting? Moved by Teresa.
Second,
Second by Len. All in favor?
aye.
Opposed?